it's an honor, it's such a privilege to have you on board today on the Rays of Hope program. I'm Lucy Waweru, glad to be with you as we continue inspiring resilience, courage, and hope, because they are very important in life as we walk this journey. And today, I am joined in studio by a very beautiful lady, and she's Nyla Nina. We will get to know her shortly, but today we want to hear the story of life. I mean, an inspiring story from the perspective of a young person. And so we are inspiring hope, and it's through her lenses, a young Christian who is on this journey. And we trust that many of us, parents, youth, younger children, will be encouraged with her life and her story. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Thank you for coming.
Asante. It
Wonderful.
has been an honor.
Wonderful.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Awesome.
Yes.
So please introduce yourself to the viewer, who you are, kidogo.
Yes. So as you have heard, I'm Nyla, but that's my stage name.
Mm-hmm.
My birth name is Nyla Nina, and I was born here in Kenya to two reverends in the Presbyterian Church, and I am a singer. I am an inspiration to many because I love giving hope to many through my music, and also going to talk to young people like me, because I might seem a bit old for my age, but I was born in 2002 December 25th, and yes, a Christmas day.
You're a Christmas baby.
Yes.
How about that?
It's an honor.
It's an honor.
Yes.
And no wonder you're very special. Tell us, kidogo, about where you go to school and what you study.
Okay. Currently in Daystar University, first year, but in the second semester, and I am studying community development. Yes.
And as we move on, you'll tell us maybe what was the inspiration behind that,
Yes.
because we have many young people out there, maybe they're unable to decide, they don't know how to follow maybe their heart's passions,
Yes.
and all that, and would love to hear more about that. But you have a favorite verse, and that's what we're going to use today.
Yes.
What's your verse?
My favorite verse in the Bible, as many of you know, it's John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Why do you like that verse?
First of all, at least it gives us assurance in life that when we trust in God, when we believe that he does exist, we have an eternity that is waiting for us even after death. Yes.
Wow. And may I say that you just articulate and very mature in many ways, your thought life and all that, for your age, and we are very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
Now, kidogo, life of a PK, of a pastor's kid.
Yes.
How is that like?
Many people have seen this thing as a funny thing. I'm a PK of two, not even one.
Not even one.
Of two. So it's a funny thing when you come out like telling people like, oh, my mom and dad are reverends, by the way. But at least it has helped me grow in the ways of God, because at most of the times when you're at home, we get to have Bible fellowships together. We have like some small preachings at home. We are taught in the ways of God. So at least even when we are taken out of the house, we can have our own standings in the righteous way that God has made us to follow. And it's always a nice thing, at least going to church, and I'm proud of it that I can say I'm a child of two reverends. Yes.
How about the pressure? Like maybe people expect you to be a younger version of a reverend as well. Have you felt that pressure?
The pressure is huge, very huge, because like people expect you to be that perfect being. Holy. It's like you're expected to know every single thing in the Bible, follow them to like every single way. But people often forget that you're also still human.
Yeah. And young and growing.
Yes. And we are surrounded by peers who are like, who want us to go this way. And you know, we often also get into temptation sometime. But as a pastor's kid, sometimes you'll get like, you'll tell yourself like, oh, I should not do this. Because for the reputation of your parents and also for your own reputation. Because first of all, as a Christian, you're supposed to live a holy life. You're not supposed to follow these normal things that other people do. Like maybe if it's going to club, maybe if it's like partying all night, maybe it's like drinking or taking drugs. We can't do that. So as a pastor's kid, the pressure is high. Yes.
But as you're saying, it's your personal responsibility to live a good life and a holy life because you're a Christian.
Yes.
So as much as there's pressure, there's also that inner motivation that you're a Christian and you need to do things the right way.
Yes.
But as you say, it does help to remember that you're a PK.
Yes.
So at least it helps you.
Yes, it does.
in many, many ways. By the way, Nyla is a musician, as she said, and she's done her first song, I Am Still Me. Yes. I Am Still Me, and we'll be talking about that because she'll inspire us. She'll tell us why I am still me. I don't know whether you want to get into that immediately, but tell us a bit about your school life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Primary school, I've studied in more than 13 schools because as a PK,
you move.
You're moving. You're always on the road. So, and then when it came to high school, at least I studied in one school in Buruburu known as Apostolic Carmel. It's a religious school, and I love that because if I went to another school, I ought to believe that I wouldn't be the same as I am right now. Where we were in high school, at least we were taught in the ways of God. We were given restrictions to follow what the worldly people do. We were told to follow the way of God.
Amen.
We had like services like 3 times a week. We also had like Bible fellowships, and CRE was it was a must.
It was a must.
Yes.
It was not optional.
It was not optional. So at least even when you study CRE, sometimes, you know, you're covering the whole Bible. So you get to know like, oh, there's this point I've never known. At least I'm knowing it now.
Yeah.
So yes, that was my high school life in a girls' school. And now, currently, after finishing KCSE last year, I joined Daystar University on August. And yes, life is continuing normally, just like studying and also fellowshipping together with people there. Because in Daystar there are very many clubs. Like you can choose whatever you want. If you're a sports person, go for sports. If you're someone who's into singing, there are very many singing clubs. If you're someone who's into Bible fellowship, there are very many things. So as for me in university, I chose to follow the way of music most of the time.
Yeah.
So I joined Sing Africa, and later on I came to start falling in love with DCF. DCF is Daystar Christian Fellowship, where we get to unite together as Christians, read the word together, fellowship, sing, dance, and pray, fast, and everything. So at least it is giving me a good life in university.
Wonderful. And because all these things will start tying up as we continue, please help us understand the title of your song, I Am Still Me, and that how it relates to your journey. I'm still me. What do you mean?
Okay, many of you, by the word itself, I am still me, means that you're firm. So being firm means that you're not going to follow what other people tell you to do. You just follow what your heart tells you and what God tells you to do. So I Am Still Me came because like it was an experience that I had in high school. Like we had this seclusion of like people with different grades, like abilities to study. So like some people would have said that I wish I was in that upper grade for those people who like they excel a lot in studies. Others are saying like, oh, I wish I was her, I wish I was that person, what. But as for me, I just stayed and said, I am me. So I can't change it because you have to accept yourself. The way God made you, accept yourself first. Because after acceptance, you get to grow much more naturally and not artificially by following what other people tell you to do.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
Because looking at what maybe young people your age are going through, you were not in high school long ago, just recently, and now you have an experience in college, university life. What are the pressures, what are the things that young people go through that sometimes cause them, if they don't make that firm decision to be themselves, that would derail them? What are the experiences that young people have today?
So, as for today, there are very many things that have come to destroy the youth. First of all, the availability of drugs and alcohol everywhere is one thing that is killing our youths a lot.
As in, young people nowadays don't have to go look. They're available.
Yeah, they're very available. Because in my experience this first semester in university, you find that people are taking weed as if it's just tea.
Like tea.
Like tea. They find it like anywhere they want, whenever they want.
As in, it's available.
It's so available for them. So, as in, it's hurting our youth. And they can't realize that. The ones who are taking it, they just get addicted. They continue taking it, and they're not realizing that it's affecting their lives. They think that being in that mental state that, oh, everything is perfect, because after getting high, you know, you have those thoughts, life is good, there's nothing bad. So it's taking our youth.
That's the artificial life you were talking about.
Yes, the artificial life.
Yeah.
So, and also these things about like sex education. The early sex education that people are now getting, you know, okay, it's not a bad thing, but in a way it's affecting the youth, because now they get the knowledge that, oh, we can do this. So we can find people getting condoms. There are these P2s and what. They're very available to the youths. And they don't have age restrictions to them. That's a funny thing I realized. So at least, okay, not at least, but it's leading many youths to go into such acts at a young age. So majority of the girls end up being pregnant. The rates of sexually transmitted diseases are getting high.
It's on the rise.
Mostly HIV these days, it's on the rise. And mostly in universities and high schools. Yes.
Sad. Sad. And no one tells the young people, you know, the consequences of getting involved in these things, like even using those P2s.
Yes.
The consequences. Yeah, because it's really destructive to their lives. Why do you think, what is this that young people are lacking that is leading them to want that artificial life? What are they running away from? Are they running away from something, or
maybe they're not accepting the reality? That's why they're running away from the reality itself. Like, maybe, okay, the reality of life, what we were taught when we were young, is to preserve ourselves so that after marriage, you can have children. Because also we were created to be procreators with God. But right now, people are not accepting that reality. So they end up engaging in such activities at a young age because they're like, oh, sikuna P2, sikuna hii. So like they end up destroying their lives before the time that the thing was meant to happen. So yes.
And both young men and women, like for the weed story, they're all into it.
Yes.
It's no longer like a boy thing.
Yeah. It's all of them.
Really?
Yes.
So even alcohol is a lesser thing.
Yeah, it's a lesser thing right now because people are like, oh, wanachukua pombe, wetu ni wesi.com, you see. Now those people who are taking weed are the ones like considered like, oh, you're going with the trend and everything. Now it's for everyone.
It's for everyone.
Yes.
So I am still me. So what's your message to young people?
My message to young people is to stand firm with who you are, what you are created to be, and what your purpose in life is. Because if you follow what other people tell you, you will end up being thrown in a ditch by those people who you trusted. They might end up throwing you in a ditch where you can't help yourself to get out in. Because peer pressure these days, to all the young people, it's a bad thing. As in, it's getting to an extent that it's kind of becoming like a crime, because it's affecting many, many, many youths. Because somebody can go to university, you're so holy, but you don't have that stand firm to yourself. So you end up wavering every single place. Twende bash, you are there. Twende huku, uko huko. Tufanye hii, unafanya. So you see, like, the youths being not being firm is a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a whole huge problem. Because you have to first know yourself. Like, who am I?
Who am I?
Who am I? Why am I here? What's my purpose in life?
In life.
You have to ask yourself those questions before doing something. And also you should, like, tell yourself, you know, there's a God up there who's watching me 24/7, the whole year, non-stop. So what if I do something wrong? It might not lead me to heaven. So that's the first thing you should also put in mind. God is watching. Before even telling yourself, like, I am this person. I was created for this. So we need to have a stand firm in our lives, so that at least we can be able to nurture ourselves the way God wanted us to be nurtured. Like, engage yourselves in activities that won't harm you. Like, go to these club activities, like maybe environmental clubs, like singing clubs, drama clubs. Like, find your talent. Those talents will help you to find the perfect club to join. So, and also try to read a verse a day. At least that will help you to continue remembering that there's a God somewhere who's looking at us, who's watching us. So doing the right things will be the best thing, rather than doing something that you know is wrong.
Is wrong.
Yes.
Wow. And now the inspiration to sing, I am still me. Like, you already took a stand in your life that you'll be yourself.
Yes.
You listen to God, you'll follow godly counsel,
Yes.
and not what everyone else is doing. And that has culminated into a song.
Yes.
A beautiful song that you launched, was it last year?
Yes, last year, December 17th.
Last year, December 17th.
Yeah.
You'll give us a taste of that, by the way, because you are the musician,
Yes.
and we're with you here. So before we go for break, you will give us a taste of that.
Yes.
But I'm still me. When did you discover the gift? Because you've told young people to discover to discover their talents and to use them. When did you discover yours? Yeah.
I was a very active member in Sunday school. So, like, we used to be told to go for these Sunday school festivals, like where you go to sing, dance, those traditional dances, memory verses. So I got to find that interesting, activities such as that. So I started singing when I was so young. And I almost released a song when I was in class 4.
You almost.
Yes, almost. I was in PCEA at that time. And something happened in between, so we were not able to release that song. It was like a church school song. But God had his own intentions.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So even in high school, I participated in Kenya Music Festivals, won a lot of awards there.
Wow.
And yes, even in school, I was a very active member in choir.
In the choir.
I also became a prefect. I was also a band prefect. Like, I love playing instruments also.
Wow.
So yes, my passion in music has been with me all along.
And it's good that you mentioned that you were given the space.
Yes.
Right from church, you had the space
Yes.
to discover your gift and to grow in it.
Yes.
And also at school, you were given space to grow in the same.
Yes.
So tell us about the song. What is it about and what's the message? Okay, I am still me, fine, we had. But what are you saying in this song? What do you want to achieve?
With this song, I want people to know that there are very many ups and downs you'll face in life. But let those downs in life encourage you so that you can have a better life. Like as for me, my whole story has kind of been tragic somewhere. I think we can talk about it later, about the health issues and such.
Maybe you can.
Yeah.
You can.
So it has been tragic all along. Since class 5, I've been in and out of the hospital all the time. But I came to realize that maybe it's God. This is a way of his communication. He wants me to do something, but I'm not getting it really. So, yeah, I've been sick all along until Form 4. I was also doing the exam and I was quite sick. And, yeah, I think that gave me an inspiration to tell people, even if you have extreme challenges in life, you can go through them. It's not a must, like maybe if you have like depression, you commit suicide, or if you don't think of negative things if you're facing hardships in life. Just focus on where can I get the inspiration to rise back to my feet. So I Am Still Me talks about that, like giving someone the inspiration to stand back and stand firm, so that at least you can't waver around. Like maybe if you have like 2 ways, don't follow both at the same time, like the hyena, but follow one that you think is right. So yes, I am still me. Like I can find one point, like rainbows in the sky is what I love to see. That the word rainbow,
and your song is very poetic, by the way.
Very poetic.
It's very poetic.
The word rainbow like symbolizes like the happy things in life is what I want to see. So if you tell yourself like, I am focused on only positivity in life, you'll have a very perfect life. But only saying like, oh, hey, this happened,
I'm going to die now.
I'm going to die. Yeah, you won't live well. So focus on the positive side of life and stand firm throughout.
The rainbow.
Yes.
The rainbow. Rays of hope.
The rays of hope.
There is hope.
Yes.
And I like it because it's coming from a young person. And maybe people thought, oh, this is a perfect girl. She's not gone through issues. And that's why she's saying you can take a firm stand. But now, sharing your story helps even though they are young people or even adults to know that we don't have to remain down there. We can rise up. Now, we want to take a break. But before we do, please face this camera. Utuimbie your song kidogo. Kidogo tu, utuonjeshe. Then we come back, utatuonjesha tena.
Sawa. Okay. Pink, purple, and blue, that's what I am. Proud of who I was born to be. I can't deny everything I'm walking through. They look at me and say, be proud of who you are. Rainbows in the sky is what I love to see. Finding yourself is the greatest thing. I tell myself everything I'm walking through. They look at me and say, be proud of who you are.
I'm still me. And that's what you're saying. You can be yourself. You don't have to give in to pressure. So we take a short break. We'll be right back to hear more about this inspiring story of Nyla Nina.
CAC TV, in conjunction with the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, PCEA Tumutumu Presbytery and PCEA Tumutumu Hospital, welcomes you to a groundbreaking ceremony at PCEA Tumutumu Hospital to put up a modern outpatient department OPD and accident and emergency complex on the 8th of March 2022 from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The complex is funded by a grant from His Excellency Honorable Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Tune in to CAC TV on Signet, CAC TV on Facebook and YouTube for this auspicious occasion. Ni wakati wa kuomba, ni wakati
2022 is a special year for the Women's Guild Fraternity, for we will be celebrating 100 years since the Women's Guild Fellowship began. We must acknowledge that this has been made possible through prayer. In this spirit, we are beginning a journey of 100 days of prayer and fasting for all women, beginning 12 February to 22nd May 2022. In this season, we invite all women to pray for the nation, the church, families, the women ministry programs, and the success of the 100-year celebration, and any other item as the Lord will lead you. Remember, the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective.
Natangaza ni wakati wa kuomba.
Welcome back on Rays of Hope, and we hope you're still following on our live streams, CAC TV Kenya on Facebook, CAC TV Kenya on YouTube, and thank you very much for joining us. If you have joined us for the first time, but those who have continued, I am with Nyla Nina, a musician and a university student, and she has a very inspiring story. She has shared part of her story, and we ended at the point where she was talking about I'm still me and why we need to take a stand in life. And she sang for us. Welcome us back again with another line. Yani tunataka tu kusikia hiyo sauti. Nile inatoanga nini kwa pango.
Nyoka kwa pango.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay, my favorite point of the song.
Yes.
Don't let them pull you down. Don't let them pull you down. Don't let them pull you down, no, 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 no. Don't let them pull you down. Don't let them pull you down. Don't let them pull you, no, 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 no. I'm still me.
Hey, that's a point. I am still me. Okay, you wrote the song? Somebody wrote the song? Where did you get those beautiful dancers? Because I've watched your song. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
I'm a songwriter.
You didn't tell us that. Wow.
Okay, I'm also in charge of production sometimes. And like I have 116 lyrics waiting to be shared to the world.
Ooh,
Yes.
Kenya, prepare for this. This is big.
Yes.
You have 116
Yes.
that you've been writing.
Yes.
We can't wait. We just can't wait.
Yes. And for the dancers, those were just my friends. Just decided like, let's make a song video at least for once. Tuonje kidogo kidogo. So at least we had fun just at home.
Yeah.
And the concept was just like this girl who was at home alone. The friends like wanted to see her because she had gone through a lot. So they wanted to come and cheer her up. That's why you see after texting in the video, they come now to the house and we have fun. At least they cheer me up. And that's the good purpose of friendship. You should have friends who bring a positive energy to you.
And that's a good point because we know that the Bible tells us that bad company corrupts good morals.
Yes.
And you talked about pressure for young people.
Yes.
And pressure obviously comes from close people, friends mainly. And so you talked about the need to have people who bring positive. Can you address that, please? And especially watu wako kasai, maybe someone is on holiday or they're in school, wherever they are, whether it's holiday time, whether it's school time, university or high school, they need to have good friends. And what have good friends meant for you and your life?
Okay, good friends, you'll come to know them by what impact they bring in your life.
Aha.
So as for me, how I came to know the friends that I have now, it's at least they taught me well and not taught me to do the bad things. So someone who tells you, twende church tusichelewe.
Ah, that's a good friend.
That's a good friend.
That's a good friend.
Yes.
Tick.
Or, okay, you have a passion in music, kuja nitakusaidia.
Tick.
Oh, unataka umeboeka kwa nyumba, kuja basi tuende maybe tuende church tuangalie wa mama wa church wenye wanaosha tuwasaidie.
Hey. Ama
tupike tu food, maybe like as a YouTuber maybe we can create content together, something that can help someone else who's outside, like si tupike njahii leo tuoneshe watu wajuu kutengeneza njahii tuwaoneshe.
Tick. Those are good friends.
Yeah, those are good friends. Hadi kwa masomo. Someone who will tell you like, let's make a timetable. At this time we meet at this specific place. We study this topic. Kama umekwama, let me help you.
Oh,
that's a
good friend. Another tick.
Yes. So you need people who bring a positive impact in your life.
In your life.
Maybe if you didn't know math, somebody who knows how to calculate. Do you have time? Help me do this. Someone who has that time to help you.
Yeah.
That's a good friend.
How about the others? Can you mention a few things I would ask you to do?
Oh, for the others, now the bad company. Huyu ni mtoto kwambia, you have lessons today. Kama hauna, twende bash.
Twende bash? No. Yeah.
Or someone will come and tell you, by the way, wale wa udaku. By the way, gossiping is not allowed in the Bible, by the way.
It's not?
Yes.
You mean kuna udaku kwa young people? I thought it was for older people. Older guys like us.
Ever there. So somebody who will just use your time for gossiping, or maybe like drugs or partying, or someone who will tell you, let's skip class, or maybe to strike. Like these high schools these days, like somebody is coming like and telling the others, today we have to strike. These people haven't given us food. What. That's the bad company.
That's bad. That's no. That's a no.
Yeah, that's a no.
That's a no.
Yes.
And by the way, butuambie, these udaku guys, these udaku people, and wanachocha hizi ma strike na nini. Watu wanasemanga wanatoka Kanairo sana. Is that true? Ama they come from all over. Or they come from all over.
Kama
ni wote. So it's about company.
Yes,
and what you... So I like what you said, that you will know them, good friends, by the impact they have in your life. Whether you're getting better, whether it's a positive impact or a negative one.
Yes.
And that's a very clear thing. I mean, so young people should not be lost,
Yes.
should not be confused by that. Now, I want us to go step by step, because for you to reach this point of saying, I am still me, and actually even telling the whole world that I am still me, it is a whole process. And I know you've mentioned those building blocks in your life that have brought you here, but I want us to analyze them one-on-one, because in Christian education, we talk about four areas, and we say that the first school is the home.
Yes.
So it seems to me the home has been a good school for you.
Totally.
Tell us a bit about that school, and in what ways it can be a good school or a bad school.
Yes. So home is the first place a child is brought up in. Before a child is introduced to go to school or other places, the child is raised at home. So depending on the company that's at home, the child will get to collect each and everything that happens at home. So if it's like, okay, for the negative like impacts at home, maybe if the parent sees like the child sees the parents are drunk, like drunkards, the child will also get influenced. When the child grows, he or she will become a drunkard. If a child is raised in a violent house, like the parents are fighting on and off, the child will also grow to be violent. And also sometimes a child needs that warmth from the parents and from the siblings, so that he or she can grow well, like naturally in the ways of God. So at home, I'm raised by my mom, my dad, and my two brothers, where we always have like fellowships at home. At night, mostly before sleeping, We have a small Bible study where we get to talk to each other. Weekly, we have family meetings.
Like you meet.
Yeah, like we meet. Hapa tunakutana. What has happened in the house? Nini mbaya, nini nzuri. What's bad, inarekebishwa. Ile nzuri, inatikiwa. Tuendelee. So, like being raised in such a family, it has taught me well.
Wonderful.
I can say that.
So so for us to be still ourselves,
Yes.
I am still me, it has something also to do with the upbringing.
Yes.
And so we need to make our homes very conducive for children to grow up in.
Yes.
Number 2, we talk about the church as another school where the bigger family meets.
Yes.
How has church impacted you?
Church has impacted me well because right now as you're speaking, I love like going to these youth activities where we get to bond together as a church. You know, a church is a bigger family.
It's a bigger family, yeah.
Yeah, so we get to bond together with the youths. Participating in church activities really helps a child.
Wow.
Because if you remain at home, you won't get that time to know like more people, to interact with more people, to know the good things and the bad things taught by them. Because it's not that your parents will tell you everything. Some things your parents can't tell you, but when you go to church, you're told.
You'll be told.
Yes. And also like this, like in church we have very many people you can go to. We have the leaders, the reverends in church. We have the elders. We have the deacons. We have these church school teachers. We have everyone who can assist you where you need help.
It's a very rich family.
Yeah, it's a
the
very
church
rich family.
is a rich family.
Yes.
And you know, when I asked you about church, I saw you glowing. So church is not so boring.
To me, it's not boring.
And because you see, your generation thinks the church is the most boring place. But I saw you glowing when you're talking about church.
To me, I get to interact a lot when I'm at church. So that's why I always say it's a fun place. Don't go to church at you, oh, I'm just going to sit there. Don't have that mentality. I'm just going to sit, stand, sit, stand, sing, sit, stand. Don't think of it as like a routine. Think of it like, today I can meet someone new who can teach me something I never knew.
Yeah.
Think of it like a place where you're going to gain knowledge. And you're going to gain friends also. Because we need friends in life.
And it's a place you'll also give.
Yeah, and you'll
like
also
now
give.
you talk about joining the music teams, doing instruments.
Yeah.
So it's also a place of you offering yourself.
Yes.
So while you're complaining that it's boring, then we can already say it's you who will bore the place by not being active. Hiyo ni kweli.
Yeah, hiyo ni kweli. Because we had a recent like discussion in church. The youths were saying, oh, church inaendelea kubo. Mind you, they're the ones who are not coming to church. So how do they expect it to be fun while themselves they are not there? Like a church with no audience. It won't impact you.
Na hiyo ni swali poa sana. Hebu uliza mayouth. Wana expect ikuaje lively. Na wao ndio wako na energy.
Yes.
I mean,
we are the young ones.
Exactly.
We're the ones with strength.
With creativity.
With creativity and everything.
Innovation.
Yes. Like even dance crews. The churches which have dance crews. Like unapata like church itakuwa exciting. A group of like youth waliamua like hatuendi church kuboeka. Let's like practice this dance tuoneshe church tunajua kudance. You see, at least there you'll have fun in church. You won't get bored. But ukianza kusema siendi church juu ya hii kuna bo.
Shida ni wewe. Shida ni nyinyi, sio church.
Yes,
I'm glad unatusaidia hapo sana because generation yenye mnatu accuse ati tunabo vitu. I mean how? Na nyinyi ndio mnaweza mko na creativity, mko na energy, mko na new ideas, fresh ideas, bring them.
Yes.
That was the second place we focus on, and as Christian education. That place we think people grow in ni shule. Shule, your life in school, whatever level, can either make you or break you.
Yes.
And that's why we need good environment. Talk about that as well, kidogo.
You know, first of all, when your parents take you to school, those teachers become your second parents. So they either teach you the good way or teach you the bad way. So when you're in school, you know you have your peers, like your age mates. So ukiona huyu anafanya hii, like, hiyo kumbe ni kitu tunaweza fanya. So unaenda ukifanya. So school can impact you either negatively or positively. It depends also with the group you involve yourself in school. If you go with wale wa kulala class, wale wa kungojea tu time ya lunch, kana kukula.
Kuna tu yani hobby yao tu ni kukula.
Wako. Like mostly because if you consider like high school sana, you can find there's this group that they're only thinking of food, kwenda funky, like this activities za nje, or maybe like tunangojea kwenda home. Those are the three things.
The three main things. So masomo is
nowhere to be seen. And then there's this group, they're just focused on books and books alone. And then there's this group, at least now they're focused on their own nurturing, like how they're growing there in school, and also on education. So at least you focus on that group that has the
You need a balance.
You need a balance.
So mabuku saa ingine pia wanakuwa maybe antisocial. So you don't need to go to the extreme. You need to have a balance on the right things.
Yes.
Wow. And also the Christian Foundation, earlier on you mentioned about the Christian also upbringing while in school. It helps.
Yes, it does help a lot. If like in school, maybe let's say you're in a school where you don't have like CU, or maybe you don't have anything to do with religion. Even if it's a Muslim or it's a Hindu or something, there is no religion at all being taught in school. The children will go lost because you're brought up in a family where you need to know your religion. But when you go to school, you just get lost because there's no one there to guide you. So this Christian upbringing in school, we need to, like as a country, we need to focus on it a lot. So that at least we engage the students in many things that will bring them righteously in school and also educationally in school. So like bringing these clubs like for funding, maybe going to visit children homes, maybe going to visit the elderly, for planting trees because it's a thing we were told in the Bible to do such things, the choir and such. We need to have those things in all schools. From primary school level, secondary school level, and also higher learning in university. We need to focus on that.
Wow.
Yes.
Good things that impact society, and also activities that grow us spiritually. Because the spiritual pillar is very important. And actually, what you're saying is important because the fourth area we focus is the marketplace, the society, the larger, I don't know whether it's a school now, but it's a larger place. And if you're not taught at home, in church, in school, then what you offer the society will be a result of, it's like the giggle, you know, garbage in and garbage out. So that's what you will offer. But then you mentioned to me off air that we need to take care of young people. There are too many voices that are distracting and confusing young people. And that's now at the society level in general. Please talk about that.
Right now in this century specifically, there are very many things that us, the younger generation, we are like taught. Like it can be the same topic, but you have different voices speaking about the same topic. And those different voices have different ways and like they're focusing on different things on the same topic. So you get confused in the end, like, should I listen to this? Should I listen to that? Which way should I follow? So it brings in confusion. That's why some older generations, they say that we are a confused generation.
Are you? Please tell us.
So, okay, sometimes I can agree because you're told to do this. When you go to the other place, you're told to do this. You're told this one is wrong. You're told this one is right. When you go here, this one is right. This one is wrong. So you just get confused. So we need to focus on how to bring this generation up with no confusion. Because right now, politics is confusing. About these attacks, it's confusing the whole generation. About these diseases that, like COVID. COVID confused us.
Kabisa,
Like
threw
for
you
us,
off balance.
Kabisa, kwanza, like for us who were in Form 4 that time, we just got confused. Like, we were about to go to do our exams, but all of a sudden we were told, go home. But you know, there are some students who are not rich enough to afford phones so that they can study online. So you can find out that when we went back for the exams, there's some people who have no clue of anything about Form 4.
They just came back.
They just came back for the sake of, let me just do my exams. And the others who are there like, oh, we were taught this, but you end up finding out what they were taught is not the right thing. They went to these quack teachers. They're teaching them the wrong things. Confusion. So like this generation, I can say we are confused in a way.
And somehow we are confusing them. You.
Yes.
Somehow. But even you people, you are also confusing yourselves.
Ourselves, yes.
So how do we get out of this mess?
It's something that we as a society have to come together and
address
it and find a solution out of it. Because if we stay in this confusion for a long time, we are going nowhere.
We're going nowhere.
Yeah.
And so you talked about, as we now start winding up, you talked about life has many ups and downs. Those voices, that confusion, peer pressure, many things, COVID, Nini, all this. And you said that it is important to rise up to find the inspiration. Please talk to us about that again, just to re-emphasize the need to stay afloat, that we shouldn't be drowned in our challenges and problems. You've gone through health challenges, you've gone through other challenges, but you are still you. Help us to.
So the main thing we talked about is finding who you are. That's the main point.
Know who you are.
Know who you are.
Yeah.
Because if you follow what the society, like what's happening in the society, in the end, you want to go like on the right side.
Yeah.
So just find who you are.
Find who you are.
And at least you'll get a stable life later on. Because at least you'll get the inspiration to also speak to others who are confused before. Like you were confused before, but you came to know yourself.
Yeah.
So at least after knowing yourself, you will help the others who are confused to come and know themselves. That's why by singing I Am Still Me, I'm trying to find those who are lost like me.
Yeah. To find themselves. Yeah.
To come back.
Yeah.
So that we can create a community and a society of people who know themselves, who know what's right or wrong, and who want a better future.
Oh, me, I want us to end there.
Yeah.
Because you, a young person, is working hard to create a community together with others of people who have found themselves, who are not confused, and who want a better future. And that's what we want, all of us. And viewers, we must bring this to an end. It's getting even more exciting as we are coming to this end of our hour. And I must thank you very much, Nyla, for finding time to come here. We'll engage you many more times. You are amazing. You're just amazing.
Thank you so much.
And we know now there is a generation that is not confused. At least we know from you. So thank you very much. Keep hope alive. Find yourself and find yourself in God. Then you'll be able to keep hope alive. I trust that this has been encouraging, hearing from a young person her perspective about keeping hope alive and being inspired. Thank you very much. Until next time, take care and God bless you.